Jordan the Giant Cassat.
What's up, guys? My name is Jordan the Giant Cassat, and you're listening to the Cassat Show podcast. Today, I have my good friend Isaac Graham on. He is an aspiring actor and voice artist, and we talk about superheroes, wrestling, mostly superheroes. Yeah, I'm not going to make this intro very long. I just want to let you guys know to go follow at The Giant Cassat on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Don't forget to use hashtag Cassat Podcast. Also follow the show at Cassat Show Pod. If you want video shows and vlogs, go to subscribe to the Cassat Show Podcast on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Cassat's Real Deal. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys enjoy the show, talking about Marvel, mostly superheroes. Thank you guys so much. See you later. Alright, guys, I'm here with my buddy Isaac Graham. What's up, man?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going. It's a beautiful day here. I'm sweating in the studio here. It's pretty bad, actually. So we're both aspiring actors and voice actors. We both love wrestling. We both love comic book movies. I don't know if you actually read comics. I really don't, but we can get into all of that. So you want to tell me a little bit about yourself so the viewers get to know you a little bit?
Yeah. So, like you said, aspiring actor and voice actor. I did play the part of Deadpool in a stop-motion video for a guy named Leo Legendary. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to be doing another video with him. I've had a few other people contact me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then I was thinking, I don't know if you saw it, but Donald Glover was working on like an animated Deadpool show, and it had gotten canceled. Mm-hmm. And I was considering saving the video and then like dubbing over it with my own audio.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's only like 2 minutes, but
because I remember you did that. It was it Infinity War? Like it was a stop motion. It was a bunch of superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was impressed, and hell, let him know if he needs more voices. But no, what I'll do is I'll share that on Twitter so the people listening here can check it out. It was really cool. It shows off. You have a cool voice. You can definitely do some characters. It was definitely a believable Deadpool. It was pretty cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and, you also have a show that you started on YouTube called Clinton Clinton Jr., Attorney at Law.
Yeah. So me and my friend, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Did you?
Me and my friend,
you're good.
We started doing a show. We called it the Brandon and Isaac Show because we weren't very creative about it.
Yeah.
And then we came up with these characters, and the story behind it's really dumb. Actually, he had a parking ticket or a speeding ticket or something like that he had to go pay. Mm-hmm. And we were leaving to go pay for it, and he's like, "Hey, let's dress up in suits and go do this." So we did. We put on suits and we went and we paid his parking ticket, and then we just kind of drove around, and somehow like these characters came up, and I became Clint Clinton Jr., Attorney at Law, and then he became Judge John Johnson III, and he was my roommate.
That's pretty awesome. I lended my voice to you for a future episode if it ever happens.
Hopefully.
What was I? Was I a lawyer? I don't remember.
No, you were another judge, Judge Laurel Thompson.
Laurel Thompson, yup. So let's say he does do a future episode. Make sure you follow him on. What's your Twitter?
Isaac GRAH 13.
There you go. If he does do a future episode, you might hear my voice as Judge Laurie Thompson. That'd be pretty cool.
Again.
You're good. Go ahead.
I do have that whole scene filmed where I'm going to put your voice in. It's just we don't have the rest of the episode filled.
What the hell? Get on it, man. That's cool, though. And actually, you inspired me with that little show to start writing my own show.
Yeah.
And I'm actually like I've really been working on it lately. Like it's been a year since I was working on it because I went to WrestleMania last year, forgot about it, and then I've been thinking about it here and there ever since. But like recently, I really like got a spike of wanting to do something with my life, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm actually gonna write that show. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna act in it. I'm gonna have all my friends do it. So yeah, I'm writing it apart for your voice because we don't live anywhere near each other. So
No.
I'm definitely gonna have your voice as like a radio host or something. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, hopefully that scene doesn't get cut like like yours did.
It's gonna be in the second or third episode when I get tired of doing it. I'm like, you know what? The first episode's cool. It's out there. So fuck Isaac. He doesn't get his voice in here. You're gonna be the only reason holding it up. Like Isaac didn't put my episode out yet, so I'm not putting out his.
Just like a grudge.
Yep. I hate that mother. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's cool though. And I definitely would like to see you work more on that kind of stuff. Because I love smaller channels on YouTube who deserve so much more than what they're getting on YouTube.
Right.
But I love to see what people are doing, and what you were doing was really promising and really cool.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah. So the real reason I got you on the show here is we had a huge, 2 weeks ago, a huge movie came out. I was excited for it. 10 years in the making. I'm sure I know for a fact you're excited for it.
Oh my god! And it blew me out of the water too.
Yes, Marvel Avengers Infinity War was absolutely phenomenal. I loved it. But the real reason I brought you on the show is because I'm going to talk to you about this movie, the listeners. Our opinions of the movies, and then of course on Twitter you guys can always send in your thoughts on the movie. It's been 2 weeks. If you really wanted to see it, you would have seen it by now. So we are going to have spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers, turn this off now and come back later. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So that movie was absolutely incredible. I know for a fact you're a huge Marvel fan. That's one of the main things you post about on all your social media.
Yeah.
Wrestling,
all I post about.
wrestling and Marvel movies is really all I care about. I don't really care about the DC.
No, I saw Suicide Squad, and I mean, I liked it leaving the theater, but then it's like once I thought about it, I was like, that movie was complete and utter garbage, and I haven't watched any of the other ones.
Okay, well, I saw all the we'll just talk about all comic book movies here. I like the DC Cinematic Universe. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people are saying it is, but I go into a movie and I take what people say about it and I put it into consideration. I'm like, well, people are trashing this movie. I was going in to see Suicide Squad. I was going to be like, okay, this is going to be the worst movie I've ever seen. That's how people were making it seem. I loved it. I love all the characters. And to this day, I've seen it 3 or 4 times since. I still love the movie. And I think it's because I went in the movie thinking I was going to absolutely hate it, thinking it's going to be the worst movie of all time. And then after it, I was like, holy crap, that was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I didn't actually I shouldn't say it's garbage. I mean, it does have a lot of issues, but I do think that the characters that they developed, I think they developed really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's definitely potential for more growth in what they're doing. It's just that they have to have DC's biggest problem, I think, right now is they don't have a Kevin Feige, so they don't have somebody kind of guiding them to an end goal where they're just here's a movie, we'll see how we can connect them.
Yeah. I think it was stupid they released Justice League after, not after. I think all of the Justice League should have had their solo movie beforehand. But,
I agree.
And then, but on Marvel Infinity War, I was fine with it because they introduced the characters. But I don't know, I just thought the way they did Justice League was weird. I still haven't seen Justice League though. Like I said, if it's not Marvel, I'm not oh, I need to see it. But Marvel, I try and go see it the first night because it's Marvel. But I actually still,
people are going to spoil it too.
Yeah, that's why I made sure I went and saw it the first night. Although this movie would have been really hard to spoil with just a picture. You could see a picture that says Spider-Man dies, and you're like, okay, it tells you Spider-Man dies, but now that I've seen the movie, I'm like, did he die, though?
Also, I think with stuff like that, Spider-Man dies, you kind of see it, and you're like, why would Spider-Man die?
Oh, yeah, I would have seen that, no way. I like how, everything, going into this movie, everyone was like, oh, Captain America's going to die because he's done playing Captain America. Tony Stark's going to die because he's done playing Tony Stark. Literally, they both lived. Everyone who was supposed to die lived.
I was talking to a friend and he had read spoilers, and we were talking about the movie, and I was like, "Does Bucky?" I asked, "Does Bucky live?" And he was like, "Why do you want to know?" And I was like, "Because he has to become Captain America."
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, maybe Steve dies." And I was like, "Nah, maybe Steve lives." And I was like, "Nah, Steve Rogers doesn't live. What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like holy hell. Like they completely changed it, but I'm assuming the second one's going to make up for all that we knew.
Right.
It was probably just like WWE does it all the time, where like, oh, Roman Reigns is going to beat Brock Lesnar, and they're like, oh, nope, let's keep Brock Lesnar going for another couple months. Yep, that's
just
exactly
kind
what
of
they're
prolonging
doing.
it.
Yep. I could definitely see like we're so random right here. We're just like going all over the place, but in the movie, all these people dying, I definitely think they're going to come back to life or they're going to go back in time or something to save these people. And I'm assuming, I don't even know what I was talking about. I totally got off track here. Like literally, just the train just is everywhere. What the hell was I talking about? Holy crap! But I'm assuming that the people that everyone was saying is going to die, because I'm assuming it's definitely Captain America's last movie. Or should I say Steve Rogers and Tony Stark.
Right.
And yeah, so it's probably their last movie, so I'm assuming they will definitely actually die. Do you read comic books at all?
I do, sort of. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of them, and I will read them from time to time, but I don't read them, like, as often as I'd like, or as other people read them.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with most things that happens in comic books. So like everyone's like, oh, it's not like it was in the comic book. So like that means nothing to me because I don't read the comic books. I'm in it for the movie.
Right.
So when people are like, oh, that like it's an adaptation. So like they could literally do anything. So like people are like, this person dies in Infinity War. So that doesn't necessarily need to happen in this movie.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with that, because I hate when people are like, well, they changed it from the comic books. And I'm like, yeah, well, if people thought, like, these movies were a direct translation of the comic books, there's no, like, tension to it, there's no surprise to it. It would just be kind of boring, actually.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh, that's not how it was in the comic. But, like, there's so many different writers and so many different... This is... who wrote this? Was it the Russo brothers?
Yeah, this is the Russos.
Yeah, this is their adaptation of it. It's not...
Exactly.
It's not whoever wrote Captain America or whatever. It's not their adaptation, because there's so many different adaptations. By this point, they can mix them all together and make a completely different story.
Exactly.
So yeah, like I hate when people are like, oh, it makes no sense. It has nothing to do with the book or the comic book. Like any other movie, like it's an adaptation.
Yeah, right. And I mean, like you hear it a little bit with like the Harry Potter movies and stuff, but not nearly as much as with like the Marvel movies.
Yeah, because like if you think about it, Harry Potter only they have the one writer, and then but like comic books is crazy. There's so many different writers for all these different heroes. It's insane, really, to think about.
Because you can have like a comic writer who writes 2 issues, and then there's another one who writes like 150 issues.
Absolutely, it's really cool. Like that's why I like comic book movies. I think like they could really do anything. It's like a new comic book, but it's on the movies.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
So, like, what surprised you most about Infinity War?
Aside from like the ending, I didn't expect Loki to go out so quickly. That was a pretty big surprise to me. I mean, I kind of went into it knowing he was gonna, like, his time was pretty much up, but I just didn't expect him to die off so quick.
Literally
with how
the
much
first
they've had Tom Hiddleston involved in everything.
Yeah. I actually read something online a couple of months before the movie saying Loki's going to die in the first scene. So I was like, there's no way. And then it happened, and I'm like, well, shit.
Red Skull showing up blew my mind. I literally was, like, frozen in the theater for about 5 minutes.
Well, Captain America's your guy, right?
Yes.
So his villain showing up is probably kind of cool for you.
Yeah, well, that, and, like, I just never thought that they would bring him back, because, I mean, he hasn't been in a movie since 2011. So when he did show up, I was just like, yo, what? And literally froze
I'm assuming there's a comic where he did that, and he was master of the Soul Stone. That was a Soul Stone, right?
Yes.
I assume there's a comic or something that he did it, because the guy who sat right in front of me, it was a group of kids, high schoolers. He was like, "Oh, Red Skull is going to show up," and I'm like, "No, fuck it. Like, what the hell is he talking about?" Like, to my brother, and he's like, "Yeah, he's stupid." And then it happened, and they all freaked out, like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And me and Jason were like, "Fuck." we were talking shit. We were like, "Wow, there's no way." And then it happened.
Right.
I did not think that would happen.
I think that whole scene with like that whole Soul Stone scene was like my favorite scene in the movie.
That was pretty cool.
I think it does a good job of like developing Thanos and showing you his and Gamora's relationship, and then Red Skull returning was just awesome.
Do you think Gamora is dead? I want to think that Gamora, Loki, and Vision are dead, because like they didn't like disappear, because like that happened. But if they go back in time, they can save them, and that's
true.
Yeah. But like, and they're making another Guardians movie, and I feel like Gamora is such an important part to that movie, and that group. I can't see them.
I was talking to my girlfriend about this because I'd like to think that she's dead, just for the fact that like I don't really think they've developed her of the Guardians characters. She's probably the least developed.
Okay.
So there's like no real, like personally, I didn't have any sort of like emotional connection to her. I think this movie was the most developed she's been.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a big part with Thanos. Jeez.
Right, and I think that you could tell a good story with Star-Lord going forward now that he's lost her too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I could definitely see that. Yeah, it could go honestly either way. You never know with these movies. I'm assuming that I assume a lot, don't I? Yeah, I could definitely see him just killing her off. But like I said, I feel like she was just like the parent, like her and Peter, like were parents to the other ones. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to see. But like, I guess they could bring someone else in. I'm assuming Guardians 3 is going to have Adam Warlock.
I believe so. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah. So I'm not too sure about the Guardians. I had no clue about the Guardians before they came on the screen. That first movie, I was like, "Who the hell are these people? Why are they making such a big movie?" Dave Bautista's in it. Let's go see it. And
yeah, I mean,
ever since then, I was in love. Like these movies are great. I love the Guardians.
Yeah, most people didn't know who the Guardians were before their movie either.
Yeah. I mean, like, was Iron Man like a big deal before his movie was made? Like,
that's true. Iron Man's considered like a B-list character, but
now he's an A-list character.
The Guardians, that's like bottom of the barrel. They're like D-list characters.
Yeah, it's random as hell. I remember like people like who are even these people? Like we never even heard of them. It's just like
right, yeah, I hadn't even heard of them.
Yep, big movie though. I love that movie.
I loved the first one.
I like the second one more than the first one, and people call me crazy for that.
Actually, that's what I hear a lot from people, is that they like the second one more than the first one.
Yeah, I think the second one's on like the top of my like my complete favorite. Like there's 18 movies?
19. Actually, I made a list. I don't know, 18 or 19, something like that.
Yeah, and I know you do it, and I also do it. I update my my ranking of all the movies right when they come out.
Yeah,
and I think Guardians 2 is on my top 3. I didn't update it after this new one.
The first Guardians was in my top 3, but then I moved it out for Spider-Man: Homecoming and Thor: Ragnarok.
Okay, yeah. Where would, like, let's say there's 18 movies now, or 19. Where would you rank? I'm not going to ask you your whole ranking unless you have that available. Where would you rank Infinity War?
I put Infinity War at number 4.
Number 4? I would definitely... Yeah, it's definitely up there for me.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like... I don't necessarily think that the other movies that I have ranked above it are better. I just enjoy them a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have to see Infinity War a few times because it does have that going for it, that I've seen the other movies a few times, so like True. I know so much about them now that they rank higher.
Yeah, I think this weekend when I get paid, I'm going to do that movie pass thing.
Right.
And it will be there. Then it will be 2 weeks since that came out, so I'll be able to use the movie pass on Avengers.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it's like that where you're at. Like the first 2 weeks on a big movie, you can't use like free passes or anything.
No, not that I know of. I usually just buy all my tickets anyway, so I don't know about movie like free tickets.
Yeah, because that's how they do it. And locally, it says no past engagement for like it's usually like all the Disney movies, Marvel and DC. It's all the big movies that come out. You're not allowed to use the past engagement for the 2 weeks. So it probably has something to do with counting the box office score and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, but like that. Do you ever look into that movie pass thing? I'm assuming that's a nationwide thing.
I might have to because it sounds like it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's with $10 a month, and you can watch. You go to the movie theaters and watch one movie per day. It's insane.
Oh, yeah, definitely got to look into that. Yeah. I don't know why I'm not already doing this.
Right, that's what I said, and then I looked into it, and then they had like a special event going on that it was $6.99 a month, but you had to pay for a whole year. And I couldn't afford it at the time, so I was like, well, shit, I'll wait. And then now they finally have the $9.99 option where you can just pay every month.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to look into this because that is it's a really good deal.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm surprised you didn't know about that.
No.
Yeah, I think there's other options too, like different companies that do stuff like that, but Movie Pass is the main one. It's owned by Netflix.
Gotcha.
Which isn't a shocker. Right. Yeah. You said that it's number 4 on your list. What's the 3 in front of it? I'm assuming you said Homecoming and Ragnarok, and probably a Captain America. I'm going to go ahead and assume.
Yeah, Winter Soldier is my number 1.
Yeah, that's my number 1 or 2 right now. So that was a great movie. How do you feel those compare to Infinity War?
I think, well, specifically with Winter Soldier, I think that like if I had friends over, I wouldn't be like, "Hey, let's watch Winter Soldier," because it's kind of like it's a story that you have to really get involved in versus the Infinity War, Homecoming, and Ragnarok, where they're more about the fun of the movie.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, for different reasons, I have them ranked different ways. Mm-hmm. But Infinity War is definitely up there for me, and even when I put it at 4, I was like, I want to put this higher.
That is so hard. Like, guys, if you've seen all the movies, try and rank them. It's literally the hardest thing in the world. It's terrible.
It is. It's really hard. Like, even just ranking the top 10 of them, because then you're like, well, I could put this one in there, but I really enjoyed, I really enjoyed this other movie too, and it's really tough to do.
It's what I imagine picking your favorite child would be like. Because like I've been following these movies, I've seen them all in theaters since I was 10 years old. Like it's insane. Like I don't know, it's like a culture.
It basically is nowadays. That's what it's become.
Yeah. I actually lost the list. I don't even think I put Black Panther in it yet, but Black Panther would be high up there too.
I think I have my list right here. I put Black Panther at 11.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah, Black Panther's at 11.
Wow, that's surprising.
And that was another. Like, I did enjoy it a lot, and when I put it at 11, even then I was like, I want this to be higher, but I enjoyed these other movies more.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like Black Panther kind of came out of nowhere. Like, that's a character I know people love. But, like, when they said, he's going to be in theaters, he's going to be in the movies, I'm like, okay, I really don't care for that character at all. Civil War came, still didn't care about the character. The movie came, I'm like, what the hell? I guess I have to go see it, because Infinity War comes out next month. Everyone was saying it's the best movie of all time, all this shit. I was like, I'm going to fucking hate this movie, because they're building it up. I went in, and I loved it. I thought it was so good. So that's, like, the one movie I've gone into thinking it was going to be so amazing, and I actually thought it lived up to the expectations for me.
Yeah, that's I liked the character a lot in Civil War. Like I knew about the character because, like I said, I do read comics and I have kind of followed this stuff for a while. Mm-hmm. So I knew about him, and I thought Chadwick Boseman played the character so perfectly. I loved him in Civil War, but I thought my big problem with Black Panther was it kind of felt like he took a back seat to Michael B. Jordan in the movie.
Oh,
I really like Michael B. Jordan too, but
yeah,
it just felt more like a Killmonger movie than it was a Black Panther movie.
yeah. I agree that was definitely a lot of Killmonger in there. I was sad to see him go in that movie because I was like, I kind of want to see more of this character. I feel like he could, like, I don't know what he's like in the comics, but like he definitely seemed like he could have turned to the good side and even helped with Thanos. Like I was hoping to like maybe see him more, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah, I was actually really disappointed that they killed him off because, well, one, I don't really know how many other characters Black Panther has to fight. They killed off him and Claw, who, as far as I know, are like his two big enemies in the comics.
Oh yeah, what the hell? I forgot Claw.
Andy Serkis was amazing in that movie. He cracked me up the whole time.
People like don't even talk about him. They just talk about Killmonger. Like I thought Andy Serkis was incredible.
Yeah,
that character was awesome.
He was hilarious. I thought he was amazing in that movie.
Yep, I agree.
But yeah, I think that it kind of made sense that they killed him off, just in like with the line that he gave at the end about how, like, even his ancestors knew that being locked up wasn't better than death. Mm-hmm. So I get what they were going for, but I just think that there was more that they could have done with the character before killing him off. Oh,
I agree. Yeah, I was a little upset. I was like, "Oh shit, he's dead." Because like it was like kind of. It always reminded me of when Darth Vader dies. It kind of reminded me of that. Like it was like his moment where you're like, "I'm good now. Oh, I'm dead." Like shit. So it's definitely what that reminded me of. Killmonger was probably like he's definitely one of my favorite villains I've seen on out of all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thanos is number one. Killmonger is on there. Falcon was it Falcon, right?
Vulture. From Homecoming.
Falcon is what's his name? That's why I'm just like thinking. I'm trying to like I'm looking around my room just seeing. But yeah, Vulture. Who are your favorite villains you see in these movies?
Vulture is number one. I thought he was amazing. One of the best parts of Spider-Man is his villains are all like there's some sort of connection between Peter Parker and they're the villain rather than just like Spider-Man hates them.
Yep. Spider-Man definitely has the best. What do they call it? A rogue gallery.
Yeah.
Yep. Him. I mean, unless you want to go like to DC and say like Batman has the best of all time, but in Marvel, I don't think anyone beats Spider-Man's.
Yeah, no, because like I could name like 10 Spider-Man villains, probably more, and then anybody else I can name you like 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, I keep wanting to say Falcon now. That's terrible. Vulture was absolutely... Like, I loved Keaton in that role. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that scene in the car when he's just, like, he pulls the gun out and he's just threatening him about, like, getting in his way. I love that scene.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Right before Homecoming, I think. But, yep. Do you think we'll see Vulture down the road at all?
I hope so, because I think there's a reason they kept him alive.
Yeah, they didn't kill him. So I guess we'll see. But it looks like for Homecoming 2, we were just talking about this the other day. It looks like it's going to be Scorpion.
Yeah, they set him up. He was the one that was on the ferry. Mm-hmm. I think he was buying something from the Vulture.
Yeah.
So it seems that they're setting him up to be in the movie or be the villain for the second movie.
Well, who would be like your wish list to get if we could instead of him?
I'd love. Yeah, I was actually because I wrote some questions down to ask you, and one of the characters that I mentioned on there was Norman Osborn or Osborn. There's not a D on the end. I think he's probably the best Spider-Man villain. The Green Goblin, everything that he's done with the character.
Yeah, I thought that was the what's it called? The Andrew Garfield. They killed him off without even showing the Green Goblin. Then his son was a Green Goblin. That was weird.
Yeah, and they made him like he was a weirdo in that movie.
Yeah, that was strange. So yeah, you said he was the best. He's the best.
Yeah, other characters I'd like to see are maybe Kraven's a big one for me. I think Kraven's really cool.
Yeah.
Rhino would be fun.
Oh, for sure.
But not like in the Andrew Garfield movie.
Yeah, that was terrible. I know all the villains. Like this is funny. Besides the video games as a kid, the coloring books of The Amazing Spider-Man, like the TV show that they had out, like the cartoon. That's how I know all the villains. So like Mysterio, we got you say Craven, Rhino. Like they'd all be cool. The Lizard, seeing him again would be kind of cool. He was kind of weird, but Doc Ock is one of my favorites.
I think whatever way they go with Spider-Man, they really can't go wrong.
Oh yeah, it'd be hard to go wrong, especially with that kid Tom Holland. He's incredible.
Yeah, I love him in the role.
I love when people still try to say Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man. I'm just like, LOL. That's funny.
Yeah. You don't actually know Spider-Man, do you?
Yeah. In fact, I like to say that Andrew Garfield was better than Tobey Maguire.
I get into it with people all the time.
Yeah. I actually went back and watched. Like, they're not terrible movies. That's my childhood. I loved them as a kid. I saw Spider-Man 3 in theaters like 10 times. So that was, to me, for me to admit it is a lot. Like, people are just like, oh, how do you say that? I'm like, sorry, but it's true. Like, Tom Holland's like, incredible. But I went back recently and watched Spider-Man 1 with the Green Goblin. So corny. It is so corny.
Yeah, that's Sam Raimi's style.
Yeah, I didn't remember it being so corny. But I guess we'll see what happens. I'm really excited for more Tom Holland. I like how I was watching some interviews with him and Doctor Strange, Tom Holland, and they're like, well, what happens when you start filming the next Spider-Man movie? And he's like, and then like Doctor Strange like stops him, or Benedict Cumberbatch, he stops him. He's like, is there going to be another Spider-Man movie? And so he was about to say, like, we know there's going to be one. It's scheduled. But like, I think he was seeing that in the movie. Your character kind of dies in the movie, but yeah. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'm sure he definitely has to be back. I'd be so upset if like Tom Holland was done.
If they just kill him off, and
I'd probably cry a little bit.
I'll be honest. I did cry when he died in the movie.
Oh yeah, there was tears. Like they didn't come down my face, but they were like welling. And my girlfriend's over there. She's like, "Oh, I'm about to cry." I'm like, "Stop," because if she would have cried, I probably like. That's like, I don't know. I think it's because he's so much. He's like around our age and he's more relatable. But Spider-Man means so much to me. So like that happening and like the way he did it, like, "Oh, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good." Like it killed me, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm gonna start bawling." But then something happened. But
everybody I went with too, they're like, "How did that make you cry? We know he's got another movie coming out." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And I was trying to tell myself that it wasn't helping. All right, he did a good job.
Oh, that he's a national treasure, or should I say a global treasure because he's not American. International treasure.
There you go.
Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, Spider-Man, I'm definitely super excited for. At the end of Infinity War, there was a post-credit scene. There was only one, which I was kind of disappointed, but I guess it makes sense because everyone's dead.
Yeah, you can't do anything with all of them now.
Yeah, it shows that Captain Marvel's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm really not very familiar with the Captain Marvel character. And then I looked up and I saw that she has some pretty cool powers. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with her either. Like the post-credit scene, I thought it was pretty good, but it didn't necessarily do anything for me because I don't know the character too much.
Yeah.
But I know that she's like super powerful in the comics.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, I look forward to it.
She's apparently the most powerful Marvel superhero. That's what I read. I don't know how true that is, but I guess you could say any of them are the most powerful, no matter how they're written. But you never know.
That's true.
I think she can like travel through time and stuff. So I'm thinking she's going to be the big one who helps save the day in Avengers 4.
Oh, I didn't know that she could like actually time travel.
That's what
I know that her movie is set in the 90s.
Yeah, and then I'm assuming he's going to send that thing to her so she knows whether she's back in time. He might have sent it back in time. That's why it looks so old school. But it looks like it's set back in the day because there was pictures showing her and Samuel L. Jackson. He doesn't have the eye patch next to her. So I'm excited for that. It should be fun. And I think her, Ant-Man, and the Wasp are like going to come in and save the day because it looks like Ant-Man and Wasp they're messing with some time travel or something in their movie.
Yeah, from what I can tell, it seems like Ant-Man's going to be pretty important. I assume that they're able to like somehow time travel through the quantum realm or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I think I looked it up like when I was reading. It seems like that's what Captain Marvel uses, the quantum realm. So yeah, it should be pretty interesting to see what actually happens. I'm beyond excited. Well, we have Ant-Man and Wasp coming up. Is that in June or July?
That is in July, I believe.
Yeah, and we have The Incredibles this year, which is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I'm still super excited for it. Then Ant-Man comes out at the end of the year. That's for DC, though, so I probably won't even end up seeing it unless I catch up, because I still haven't seen the last 2 movies in that set. But then Captain Marvel is right before Avengers 4.
Yeah.
So it's going to lead us right into it.
I was really looking forward to Ant-Man and the Wasp before Infinity War came out, but then it did come out, and I was like, oh man, I just want to see what happens in Avengers now.
Yeah, I really. They need to have like some kind of thing to like get you, because like I'm just like torn, like what the hell's happening? I'm a little sad, little excited, and I need more to feed me. Like there's no way I'm going to be able to wait a whole year. So like they need to definitely tease us a little bit, show us a little bit what might be happening, maybe a little like don't spoil too much, but like kind of show us what might happen, and maybe in the post-credit scene. You never know.
Yeah, I look forward to Ant-Man being an Avenger, because we want to talk about national treasures. Paul Rudd has got to be on that list.
Oh my god, he's amazing. Ant-Man's another one. I was like, why the hell are they making an Ant-Man movie? I'm like, what? And I saw it, and that movie is hilarious.
Yeah, Ant-Man's one in my top 10. I think it's a really good movie.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's great. I'm excited for this one, but like you said, it kind of not a little less excited because of Infinity War.
Right.
You just want to get straight to. I heard rumors that what's it called? Avengers 4 might be over 3 hours long, which I'm fine with.
They could make it like 2 days long, and I'd be okay with it.
This is terrible. They're like, what should it be called? Avengers 4, what should it be called? Huh? And I was like, they could literally call it gay porn, and I'd go, I'd be there opening night. I'm there. I'm ready. It's terrible. I'm beyond excited. Oh my god. I love it. Like, that's like one thing I live for. It's professional wrestling and Marvel movies.
And Marvel does a good job, because like they got you so hooked. You sat through like 15 minutes of credits just for like a minute of the Captain Marvel thing.
Yep. And I was like, are you kidding me? People are still walking out. I could not believe it. They're there opening night. I was there at 7 o'clock on Thursday. The first showing you could possibly do in our area. And people got up before the post-credit scenes and walked out. What?
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Yeah, how do you not know by now that something's going to happen?
Because the only people who go to you'd like to think the only people that go to the movies opening day are the people who actually have like followed the story and everything, and the people you'd expect to be there through the credits.
Yeah, ever since that one shooting they had at the Batman movie theater, I have been terrified of the idea of going to movies. So like I'll pick I won't go like opening weekend or anything. Just because I feel like that'd be like when they're more prone to happen, something like that. But I risked my life for this movie. I was like, I need to see it opening night. I can't see spoilers. So yeah, that's how I look at it. I needed to see it. I would have been pissed if somebody fucking shot up the theater in the middle of the movie. I would have been so mad.
I was saying the same thing. Cause,
you better shoot me or you're going to have consequences.
Yeah, because I feel the same way. Like, I do kind of worry now with, like, the theater being shot up and stuff, but if somebody would have shot up that movie, I would have been pretty fucking angry.
Oh yeah, I would have freaked out. Like, you better shoot me in the head and kill me, because I'll be mad. I'd be mad. That's for sure. That's terrible.
Guy just opened fire, and you're like, "You fucking serious?"
I'm not even
right
ducking.
Now.
I'm like, "You better fucking hit me," because I'm not leaving this theater without finishing this movie. It's terrible.
Oh man,
just very, very terrible. But yes. So I'm assuming you'll definitely be seeing Ant-Man. You'll definitely be seeing Captain Marvel. You have to see them because you never know like what's going to tie into Avengers 4.
Right. I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's not MCU, but Deadpool's coming out next week too, and I'm pretty hyped for that too.
That's exciting. I knew it because I was actually watching the trailer earlier today, but like I wasn't even thinking about that. So let's actually talk about Deadpool. I absolutely love the first one. That's a character that I wasn't very familiar with until they announced the movie was happening. And when I saw Wolverine Origins in theaters with my dad, I was a little younger, so I wasn't really worried about the idea of like, oh, that was Deadpool.
Right.
So like that didn't like I liked the movie. I thought it was fun. Had no clue how bad it was until I knew who Deadpool actually was. But that first Deadpool movie was incredible. I thought it was really like. Did you get vibes that the first Deadpool was very short?
Yeah, it didn't seem. It didn't seem all that. I don't know how the actual runtime of the movie, but yeah, I could definitely.
I felt like it just came and went.
Short.
Yeah, I hope the new one isn't like that because it felt unfinished to me almost. But
right.
I'm really excited for this. It looks like Terry Crews is in it, and you know that's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, they did a good job of keeping that secret too, because I didn't know it was Terry Crews until he was in the movie until that first trailer came out.
Yeah, I had no clue. Like if I would have known, holy shit. But Deadpool, this movie's going to happen. What do you see happening for the future of Deadpool? Because Disney now apparently owns the Fox Marvel characters, which apparently isn't even official yet. I read that recently, that it's not official.
Yeah, so I think Disney is they're working out paperwork or something.
Yeah, they still haven't signed it.
It's not supposed to actually go through until next year sometime.
Yeah.
And then I've heard recently that Comcast is trying to still outbid Disney, even though the deal's already set.
Yeah, damn.
Which is fine because even if Comcast wins, I believe the Marvel rights go back to Marvel.
Okay.
But I don't know what they're gonna do because
that'd be crazy. If at the end of Avengers 4, sorry.
Yeah, they almost set up a connection between Deadpool and the MCU in the Deadpool movie.
Mm-hmm.
With the final fight basically taking place on the helicarrier.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know if it was to be a jab at Marvel or if it was for Ryan Reynolds being well, it's going to happen, so this way we can kind of transition seamlessly into the Marvel movies.
Yeah. But, my question really is, I'm sure, they're going to have these characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Deadpool... Marvel Cinematic Universe is mostly family movies.
Right.
Deadpool mixing in with a family movie, how do you think they would do that? Do you think they would even try?
I don't know. I could see them doing something they just bleep him out a lot, and then
I think that'd be funny.
In his movie, he addresses it too.
Uh-huh.
Even right at the beginning, he's well, this isn't going to be the first 2 movies I had because this one's been Disney-fied or something.
Yeah. And then every time he swears, you know what he's saying, but it's a beep. And he even addresses what the hell?
Yeah.
That'd be funny. I would like that.
Or do also, a Mickey Mouse laugh every time he swears. It's just oh.
That'd be funny. I don't know if that would probably deteriorate the value of a Marvel movie in a way. Because these movies are kind of serious, but they also have their funny moments. But I feel that's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
But if he had a solo movie, that'd be funny. They keep it kind of family friendly. But
right.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. It's going to be hard.
I know whoever at Disney. I think his name's Rob Iger or something. He did say that they wouldn't try to change, or they wouldn't change Deadpool too much, and that there is room for R-rated Marvel movies.
Yeah, for sure. But my thing is, I don't see him crossing over with the Avengers.
Yeah.
That honestly doesn't bother me. I'm fine with his one character not crossing over with, the main characters. Because he's fine on his own.
You could have other characters cross over, how Colossus is in it. Maybe you have Colossus, he can cross over with the other characters, and so it's still...
Mm-hmm.
The same universe.
Yeah. Or even if he makes a cameo, kind of like Stan Lee, but he's not I don't see him being a main focus because he swears too much. And it's just you can't do him without allowing him to. I guess you could make inappropriately funny comments, but I don't know.
Yeah, don't actually see how it would work
Yeah.
in. I don't know. I'd have to read some of Deadpool's comics where he interacts with the rest of the Marvel guys and see how it goes in the comics.
Yeah, I think they have like a few that like Deadpool versus the Marvel universe. Like they have like some weird ones.
Right.
Or
see how he interacts with them.
Yeah, I might have to go to the comic book store. I don't read comics, but I there's definitely a few like I feel like have to be good. Like maybe like Infinity Wars comic series or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, is there anything else we can talk about here while we're here? There's so much
I got
stuff.
a couple questions for you.
Sure, let's go through those.
All right, so do you think all of the original Avengers are going to die in Avengers 4?
All the original ones like Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, and Scarlet. No, Scarlet was in the second one. Okay, I don't think Hulk's done. Captain America is done. Iron Man's done, and I don't know about Thor.
Thor, in Ragnarok and Infinity War, Thor has become my favorite Avenger, so I really hope he's not done.
Yeah, and I could see him doing a couple more.
But if he does die, would you like to see somebody else become Thor, like someone else picks up the hammer, or do you just want them to be done with it?
What if they did like Lady Thor?
Yeah, and see, because I know a lot of fans kind of shit on it when it happened in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Lady Sif, because we don't actually know if she died in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Because she was never even on screen or anything. I think it'd be cool if Lady Sif became Thor.
Yeah. That would be cool. Like, you never know what could happen. It's insane. That's why I love these movies. But I could definitely see that happening. Or even, what's her name, Jane Foster?
Yeah. That's what happened for who it is in the comics. It's Jane Foster.
Yeah. She kind of disappeared after the second movie, so I don't know. And then, but like I feel like you said, Winter Soldier, Bucky is gonna take over for Captain America, and apparently it happened in the comic books, and apparently they're gonna do that with the movies. Have that black girl, she's gonna be Tony Stark, not Tony Stark, but Iron Man. She'll be Tony Stark. That's what I heard.
She just wears his skin.
She just total like dickhead like Tony Stark.
Which, are you talking about Sherry from, like, Black Panther, then?
Ooh. No.
Because I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool. And she'd have, like, a totally different suit, but it'd be kind of, like, that'd be really, I didn't even think about that. No, I was thinking, like, I'm pretty sure there's just a random black chick who, like...
Yeah, her name's, like, Riri Williams or something.
Wow, but Shuri would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sherry's a great character. She was one of the big hits for me in Black Panther. So
I thought she was cute. I had kind of a little crush on her. I just thought she was like innocent and cute. But like she definitely showed how smart she is, and she even like laughed at Iron Man's suit or something.
Right.
So I definitely feel like that'd be really cool. So that'd be interesting to see what they do. That would be cool.
I know that, I guess they're bringing back that kid from Iron Man 3. He's going to be in Avengers 4, so it's possible maybe they do something with him becoming Iron Man 2.
That'd be fun. How old is he now?
He can't be anything older than, like...
15.
Yeah, like 15 or 16.
So when did Iron Man 3 come out? That was, what, 2000... 12 or 13, yeah.
Yeah, 2013.
So he might have been 10. And so, yeah, he's like 15 probably.
Yeah.
But that'd be interesting. He could be like a... Because you know how like Tony Stark was like a father figure to Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be like a friend or brother. Like that'd be interesting.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
All right, so that covers 3 of my 4 questions. And then my last one is there any characters you'd like to see join the MCU?
I would love... Like, one of my favorite... I loved the first movie. I was also a child when it came out, so like I haven't watched it since. But the Fantastic Four, I would love to see them in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm not a big X-Men guy. Wolverine's cool. Like I know of some of the characters, but I would definitely like to see them brought into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like the way Marvel Cinematic makes the Marvel Studios makes the movies more than I would like the original X-Men. But they have like 10 movies, so I don't know. I still haven't seen Logan, but I don't think it would be him anyways. We were kind of talking about it the other day. Who we could see play Wolverine. Who did we say?
You brought up Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
Or Egerton.
Yeah, I think he'd be fun. Like, you were saying how they're too pretty. Some of them are too pretty to... Which is true. Like,
it is, but I think at the same time, Hugh Jackman, even in a way, he's kind of like a pretty boy himself.
Yeah, you're right. Like, so, like, you never know what like they could do with them.
Yeah.
So, in Marvel, they I can't think of, like, can you think of any bad casting choices they made?
Not, like, off the top of my head, no.
They're usually pretty spot on. So, no matter what, I think we'll be happy with whatever they do. Like, except
Don Cheadle. I hate Don Cheadle.
You don't like Don Cheadle?
I just like Terrence Howard better as Rhodey. I thought he was so much better.
That's the only thing that kind of annoys me, is the fact that he's been played by two characters.
Yeah.
It bothers me. Same with the Hulk. That bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
I
think Mark Ruffalo is way better than Edward Norton was, though.
I agree. Absolutely. So, yeah. That's the questions. There's probably other ones. Like, there's a lot of villains I'd like to see.
Yeah. So mine was Namor.
Okay.
Who's like Marvel's Aquaman.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar, but I know who he is.
I didn't...
Interesting.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that'd be pretty interesting. I'm not too familiar with him, so...
Yeah. So he's like a mutant, but he's also the king of Atlantis, and he kind of borders on being a hero and a villain.
Okay.
And I think it'd be fun to bring him into Black Panther too, because him and Black Panther kind of have a rivalry.
Oh, that's cool.
So then you could do like Wakanda versus Atlantis, which I think would be really interesting.
That'd be dope. I can only imagine.
Doctor Doom. I don't have the Fantastic Four, but I have Doctor Doom because I think he's like the best Marvel villain.
Mm-hmm. He has yet to be done right on the screen.
Yeah, I didn't see the last Fantastic Four movie.
I liked it. A lot of people hated it. I thought it was pretty good. But again, my taste in movies isn't that great. I like anything. But yeah, like, a lot of people hated him in that movie.
I know it got a lot of shit for casting Michael B. Jordan, but I thought he was honestly one of the best choices they could have made, just because from what I know of him as a person, he's pretty similar to Johnny Storm, and like that he's pretty cocky and kind of full of himself, but not necessarily in the same way. I just thought he was a good choice.
Yeah, I like him. He's a great actor. He was in Creed, the Rocky spinoff.
Yeah, I love that movie.
So good. And then, yeah, he was in that, and I thought he was good in the movie. It didn't bother me. People were just mad because he was black, and yeah. So I enjoyed it, and then of course I enjoyed Black Panther. So like anything he's in, like I've never had a movie that I watched that I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah.
So he's a star.
That's for sure. I think his stock is on the rise after Black Panther now too. I think we're going to see him in a lot more movies.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah. Trying to think of
next.
Go ahead.
Oh, what's up?
I'm just trying to think of people who I could possibly think of to be in the MCU.
I've got Norman Osborn, but only under the condition that he's played by Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
I want like him to be interrogating Spider-Man or Peter, and he's like, "Peter, are you Spider-Man?" And he's like, "No, of course not." He's like, "Well, be a lot cooler if you were."
No, too much. That'd be funny. I doubt they would do that, but I honestly don't think he'd be a bad choice for that at all.
Yeah, no, that part's a joke.
Oh yeah, I figured.
Want him to be.
I assumed,
yeah.
But I could only imagine. People were trying to get. They were like, oh, they should have said no shit Sherlock between Iron Man and Doctor Strange, but like it would just be too much.
Yeah, it's like it's too much of like a fourth wall break.
Yeah.
like it would have happened, and then everybody would be like, "Oh, they said it!
Yeah.
We knew this would happen."
I almost feel like Matthew McConaughey doing that would be way too much too.
Oh, definitely.
That's funny though.
Do something where he's driving in a car and he's narrating it.
Yeah, because he's that'd be something that'd be funny if he was a Deadpool villain.
Oh my God, all the jokes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he calls what's Cable Barney or something, like to make fun of him for being Thanos.
Yeah, he does.
Which is funny. That's hilarious. That's the funny things they can do in a Deadpool movie that they couldn't do in a Avengers movie.
Right.
Yep.
So it's that kind of stuff where if it were in Avengers movies, you'd kind of be like,
yeah.
I don't know about that joke.
Yeah, it was just a little too much. Too real.
I don't have the full X-Men, but I did include Cyclops and Deadpool on my list.
Yeah. We talked about Deadpool earlier, like what they could possibly do with him, but yeah, that'd be interesting for sure.
I put Sentry. Now, I don't know if you know who the Sentry is.
I feel like I do, but I feel like I don't.
So he's basically Marvel's Superman, where he's got like an infinite amount of powers and strength and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But rather than having his weakness be a rock, his weakness is himself. Like if he uses too much of his power or he becomes like too upset.
Oh wow.
He turns into this thing called the Void, and then he's like an unstoppable demon monster.
Oh god, kind of like Venom almost.
Yeah, sort of. Except I think he's actually, yeah. I was gonna say I think he's like something from space, but Venom's from space too. So yeah.
Oh wow, that sounds that'd be a good movie for sure. Not to get off topic, but the Venom movie comes out this year. I totally forgot about it earlier when we were talking about him.
I'm so torn on that movie on whether, like, the people keep saying it's not connected to the MCU, but all the casting choices and everything seem so, like, they're such MCU casting choices. Like, these are Kevin Feige casting choices.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, and Woody Harrelson possibly playing Carnage. Like, those are such Kevin Feige casting choices.
Yeah, for sure. And then I heard rumors that Tom Holland's going to be in it, so...
Yeah, I've heard that too, and I hope it's true.
Yeah, because that just brings so many possibilities of what could be happening. And then people are saying that they're going to, like, when it comes out, it's going to be revealed that it's actually a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Like,
yeah.
Like, what? Like, it just won't tie into, like, what's going on with the Avengers right now, which I'd be fine with. It could be, like, a prequel or something.
Or even, like, kind of like the Netflix shows, how they're not directly connected, but they are still technically MCU.
Yeah. All right, guys, we had to stop the podcast real quick. We had a nice interruption. God, I should have probably figured out what we were talking about before I came back. What were we talking about? Oh, Venom.
The Venom movie.
I had to go tell someone to shut the fuck up because they're being too loud. God, I'm glad my neighbors just pound on their wall. But yeah. So we're talking about how good the casting in Venom looks like it's going to be. It looks pretty promising, but okay. Actually, let's talk. That first trailer was so random. Everyone's like, "Is this a Venom movie?"
The teaser trailer, yeah, because it was weird that it didn't show Venom. But I will admit that I really like the tone that it set for the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like, I was like, obviously you don't see Venom, and you don't really get anything that connects. It's just kind of like all these random images.
Yep.
Kind of like this, I don't know, this music that kind of tense music, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was
it
cool.
set a really good mood for the movie.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people were like, what is this? Like, there's no way this is a Venom movie.
Yeah.
But, like, I kind of like how they did that, and I feel like some movies should be more like that, where they don't show so much in the trailers. Like, obviously, we did get a second trailer that did show a lot of Venom. Or, not even really, it just showed Venom at the end. I feel like that's fine, but I feel like they should honestly, like, refrain from showing as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, I really loved that. That was kind of the route that Rogue One took, where they shot a lot of stuff, but then what you saw in the trailers wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
And I actually love that because, it sets like a good tone for the movie, and you know kind of what to expect, but not exactly what you're going to see.
Yeah. Rogue One's actually one of those movies that I was talking about earlier, how people up-talked it so hard, and I was going into the movie expecting it to be the best movie ever, and I absolutely hated it.
I think if it wasn't a Star Wars movie, it probably would not have been good.
Oh, no, I didn't like it at all. I thought it, like, completely overrated. It's like the avocado of movies. It's so overrated. I'm sure it's a great movie, but like compared to like the way people were like that's why I said it's the avocado. Avocado is good. I like guacamole, but god damn, is it overrated? Everyone's like it's the best. It's the best thing since anything. And
right.
I'm going into the movie theater like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best movie ever. Can't wait. Oh my god, it's Star Wars. And then I watch it. I'm like underwhelmed. I'm like, really? That was the best movie ever? That's the best Star Wars movie ever made? Are you fucking kidding me? I was pissed.
So, that's actually the last Star Wars movie that I saw because I don't know, I was kind of already losing a Star Wars, my enjoyment towards Star Wars after Episode 7.
Okay.
And then Rogue One, while I did enjoy it, I was like, again, if it wasn't a Star Wars movie, it wouldn't have been good. And then so, I haven't seen Episode 8, and I don't plan on seeing the Han Solo movie.
Oh, wow. I'm definitely going to see... I saw Last Jedi, and that's one of the movies people were trashing. I'm like, oh, that was shitty. I loved it. I thought it was good. But I'm a New Age Star Wars fan. I didn't start watching Star Wars until... Episode 7. It came out, and I was like, okay, let me catch up on Star Wars. I'm going to go see Episode 7. Fell in love. Loved these characters. Loved the originals. I loved Episode 7. And I loved Episode 8. And I'm excited for Episode 9. What I'm not excited for is Solo. I don't know how. This film, Han Solo is my favorite character, but it's not Harrison Ford. Therefore, it's weird to me. And I'm not looking forward to it. But I'm going to go see it.
I think the trailers look good. I just don't think it's a character that needed a solo film.
I agree. It looks great. It looks like a great movie, but he's not Han Solo. Hashtag not my Han Solo. I don't know. Harrison Ford's my favorite actor of all time, and then one of his best characters you're gonna take and just give it to some random newbie who apparently is needed. I guess he was really bad, and they had to hire special coaches and shit for him.
That's what I've heard is they had to have an acting coach on set with him.
Which it doesn't sound very promising. And
no, it doesn't.
Even he kind of looks like Han Solo, but not enough to make me be like, holy shit, it's Han Solo. He doesn't sound like him. Han Solo has Harrison Ford's voice. So to me, it's just what the hell? He does if he can get his Han Solo / Harrison Ford's cocky attitude down, I'll be a fan. So I'm excited to see how I feel, but I'm also very not excited at all.
I think the best part of that film is going to be Donald Glover as Lando.
Anything Donald Glover does is usually pretty amazing. Have you seen Atlanta?
No, but I do want to watch it.
I suggest checking it out. It's on Hulu, if you have Hulu.
Oh man, I gotta sign up for Hulu.
Dude, free month.
This Hulu, for some random reason, has been coming up so many times in my life in the past 2 days.
Get Hulu now.
And apparently, it must be a sign. I must have to sign up for Hulu.
They have Rick and Morty. That's why I have it, and you can just watch all the Rick and Morty episodes over and over again. I'll tell you, recently I've been watching the show. Have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Okay, the guy who plays Ted Mosby, he's in it. It's called Rise. It's about a high school theater program. One of my biggest regrets in high school was not being part of the theater program, so this show is really good. So it's a drama. It's just a random ass show I watch on Hulu. Just shout out to that.
Yeah, just plug in a show real quick.
Yeah. So if you guys are looking for anything to watch on Hulu, it has nothing to do with this podcast. There you go. But I like Hulu. It's a nice alternative. I have that and Netflix. It gets expensive, but the girlfriend pays Hulu. I pay Netflix. I also pay the WWE Network, so it's kind of unfair. She watches them all more than I do. Even the WWE Network. She wasn't even a wrestling fan, and I turned her into a wrestling fan. It's insane.
That's the way to do it.
she'll be like, we need to watch Raw and SmackDown. I'm like, I'm really not feeling watching Raw tonight. She's like, oh, come on. And the next day, she's like, let's watch Raw. It's on Hulu now. Like, I'm not feeling watching it. She's like, oh, come on. And she puts it on. I'm like, fuck. I have to watch Raw. Like, I know what happens. I saw it on Twitter.
Well, now I'm invested.
Yep. I mean, that's what I wanted. Like, I wanted her to like it, and now she likes it. And now I'm like, oh, God, damn, why did I do this? But she went and saw Black Panther with me. She went and saw Infinity War with me. So she's hopefully she'll get into that too.
Nice. So back on the.
Did we really get off topic that bad? Holy shit!
Yeah, somehow we turned into plug-in a Hulu show.
Oh, we were talking about Donald Glover. Okay.
With Venom. So some of the reports that I've heard, because the deal with Marvel and Sony for Spider-Man is only for like 6 movies or something along those lines.
Wait, Marvel and Spider-Man, okay.
Yeah, because since Sony still technically owns the rights.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've heard is like they're setting up this film franchise without Spider-Man so that when the rights for Spider-Man come back to Sony, they have like a world built already.
And he could just swoop in and kill them all.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I could see that. Maybe they should, is Venom part of the Sinister Six?
I think so.
What they should do is they should get 6 solo movies, and then Sinister Six versus Spider-Man. Like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
After like 6 years. That'd be insane.
The only thing is, I can't see Marvel Studios being like, alright, well, a deal's a deal, here's Spider-Man back. I feel like...
Oh, yeah, no way.
Once that contract is up, Disney's just going to shell out however much money Sony needs to keep Spider-Man.
Uh-huh. Oh, I bet. Spider-Man is definitely making them some money right now. There's no way they're not.
And I mean, yeah, obviously, like, they were doing good. They were doing actually great without Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Spider-Man. He's like the most profitable superhero in the world.
Because he's relatable to kids. He's young.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I look back at Tobey Maguire. He didn't seem young, and that's why I always trash him. I think it's just because it's not a young movie anymore. But I don't know. But eventually, Tom Holland's going to be too old to play the role, possibly. But he just has that young baby face look, so maybe he won't seem that young.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 21 or 22 now, and they've got him playing a 15-year-old, so...
Yeah, he could probably go till he's 30, and then he'll start looking a little scruffier, probably.
Right.
God.
I don't mean to keep you, even though this is your podcast, I don't mean to keep you too long.
Oh, no,
but
you're fine.
How do you feel about the Netflix shows, the Marvel, like the Defenders and all that?
That's a good idea to talk about those. So... I watched season 1. Okay, it goes season 1 of Daredevil, then it goes to Jessica Jones, and then season 2 of Daredevil, then Luke Cage, then Iron Fist, then Defenders. Yeah. I watched season 1 of Daredevil, I watched Jessica Jones, I watched season 2 of Daredevil, and I'm halfway through Luke Cage, and it's been about 6 months since I've watched Luke Cage, so I have to go back and finish it. A lot of people say... I like them, but, like, then again, it's hard to keep up with all these shows. Like, I love the DC shows, and I know, like, I kind of said how I'm not the biggest DC fan, but I love the shows. Yeah. But I'm, like, 2 seasons behind, and 2 seasons behind of all the DC shows is, like, 200 episodes.
Right.
To tie in all these other shows I'm trying to watch is hard, so, like, I'm not caught up on the Marvel shows. Luke Cage kind of lost me a little bit. It was just... I was like, oh shit, I'm almost done. I'm on episode 13. And then I looked and I think there's like 16 or 17. I was like, oh shit, I have to watch like 5 more episodes or something like that. So I kind of stopped and I was like, never went back. So, but like, I love Jessica Jones. I really liked Kilgrave. I thought he was a cool villain. And I definitely enjoyed the Daredevil seasons too. So I'm sure if I just give it another chance, I could definitely get back into them and like them. So it's just when I find the time to sit down and watch TV.
Yeah, so I love both the Daredevil shows. I don't really have a complaint about either of them, especially season 2.
Oh, I thought Punisher's in there too.
Yeah, more with the Punisher, all the Punisher stuff. When Elektra comes in, I kind of put off a little bit, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, Punisher was awesome in the show. I didn't watch his actual season yet, but in Daredevil, he was pretty dope.
I think he's better in Daredevil than he is in his show for some reason.
That sucks.
Not his performance or anything. I just think that the character just seemed to take that they went a different direction with the character than they had been with him in Daredevil.
Yeah. Oh, I feel exactly what you mean. I'm sure because then he has he has to fill up the whole show. He's the main character, so in that could definitely be hard to lose him. Like he could be easily lost in the episodes. So I kind of feel other than just seeing him every few episodes.
With Luke Cage, if he made it to where Cottonmouth is dead, I'd say it's probably as far as you need to go because the rest of the season sucks.
Yeah, he's dead, so maybe I shouldn't go back.
Yeah, Cottonmouth was for me because I like Mike Coulter and I thought he was really good. He's the guy who plays Luke Cage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He plays him really well and he looks just like him. I think he just plays better off of other characters, and when he's in his own show, he's kind of boring.
Yeah.
So, Cottonmouth was what was keeping the show alive for me, and then once he died, I was like, this isn't even worth finishing. But I powered through it.
Yeah, I think there's 3 or 4 episodes left that I have to watch, and it's just the idea of having to go back and watching it is just kind of ugh. Because not Kilgrave. What's his name? Cottonmouth. He was fun. I liked him as a villain. So, but yeah, I'll find time to randomly watch there. It'll come up on Netflix and I'll put it on.
Cottonmouth and Kilgrave were both for their seasons. They're what kept me going. Because I thought Kilgrave was way more interesting than Jessica Jones, just because I think her character kind of sucks.
Yeah, she's definitely... I never heard of her before that, so I was like, I have to watch this to get caught up. And then I watched it, and yeah, it's definitely... Kilgrave was what kept me going in that show.
Yeah.
It's just a cool character. That's a really cool power to have.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of scary.
The way he uses it is what's so messed up about it.
Yep, for sure.
Him and Jessica were going somewhere when... they were going out for a walk or something. And Kilgrave tells the 2 people in the house, if I'm not back in 2 hours, cut off your own fingers or something like that. Yeah, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's terrible. That's terrifying. What if somebody could actually do that? Imagine what they could do. It's insane.
It seems like it's a power you could use it for good, but I think it's so much easier to just use that power for evil.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of crazy.
Iron Fist, I enjoyed, but I know that most people did not.
Yeah, I heard mixed reactions. Some people were saying it's the best out of the 4, and then other people were saying it's the worst. So I guess that's just what you're going to get no matter what. Is some people love it, some people hate it.
Yeah, I think the actor, I think he does a fine job, and that's what a lot of people hate on is his acting ability, but I think he's really good. And I think Defenders, he does a great job. Him and Luke Cage specifically, their interactions together are great in that show.
Yeah. I'm going to have to get back into that. I have that. I have so many shows I'm watching right now. But my girlfriend, I live with her, so it's really hard for me to be able to actually watch what I want to watch. Because if she puts on something, then she expects me to watch it. But if I put on something, she'll bitch and complain until I change it. So, so if she doesn't like it, then it's pretty impossible for me to be able to watch it. So usually I cope with her. I'm like, okay, fine. And then we end up watching James Charles on YouTube. And if you don't know who that is, don't look him up. Oh my god. It's we'll watch the most random stuff. It's terrible.
Gotcha.
Like makeup tutorials, and I'll just sit there on my phone. Like, whatever, fine, you win.
That sounds like a great time.
Yeah, don't move in with your... No, I'm just kidding. I love living with my girlfriend. But yeah, so there's so many different things that could possibly happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all superhero movies, and that's what's really cool about comic books. They get adapted into movies. So I appreciate you coming on the show. I had fun talking to you about the different possibilities. Maybe once a new comic book movie comes out, we can do another show where we talk about what happened, what could happen, and all that fun stuff. Isaac, do you have any more plugs to plug before you get off?
I don't believe so. I mean, if you guys are into action figures, you can follow my Instagram, Couscous Customs.
Yeah, I would tell you that a lot of my listeners love action figures, mostly professional wrestling action figures, and I know you collect those too. So,
yep, I post a lot of that stuff on there, and a lot of Marvel stuff too.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome. So, guys, go follow him. If you guys have me on Twitter, I'll definitely post what he said. We'll post Clint Clinton Jr. You got to check that out, and we'll post your voiceover work as Deadpool for that. Animation. So that'd be awesome. All right, Isaac, thank you so much for being on the show. So yeah.
Hey man, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys later.